is the start of the Copley Cup competition.
And Alan, I noticed that conditions seem to have calmed down considerably compared to earlier this year. Certainly earlier this morning. Certainly.
They're aware that we're broken down. Okay.
Certainly compared to the earlier races this year, certainly in the last 500, it seems to be considerably calmer. Looking down the race course, the flags that were standing straight out earlier in the morning now seem to be flapping around a little more leisurely.
It happened so radically, it almost looks like somebody built a windbreak down at the end of our course. As you may have overheard, Jim Jorgensen indicated that there might be a little bit of breakage down at the other end, and we might have a bit of a delay as we begin the men's collegiate varsity invitation. This is the first of 2 heats, and this is the first competition going on in the Copley Cup. That'll give us an opportunity to mention that in the souvenir tent, at about an hour or so after the race is run, you have an opportunity to get a DVD copy of an individual race that you might select. It's a wonderful keepsake, and as you can see from our Jumbotron, some outstanding camera work and some beautiful scenery involved with this, the San Diego Crew Classic for 2011. All the crews at the stake boats sitting comfortably and idly, and we'll try to get a report on what was possibly a breakage that was reported earlier. Our start boat announcer, Jim Jorgensen, you may recognize the name as the longtime head coach of the highly successful Orange Coast College racing program. Their crew up there have been very competitive in our San Diego Crew Classic over the years and have won their events at least on 9 occasions. First heat about ready to go on the Copley Cup, and we'll check with our starting position.
Event number 7, Men's Collegiate Varsity Invitational, Heat A, Lane 1, California. Lane 2, Oregon State University. Lane 3, University of Michigan. Lane 4, Bucknell University. The breakage that Al mentioned is none of the rowing crews, but rather the launch that I'm sitting on. We're currently stationed at the 500-meter mark.
And the race is away, and they'll be coming towards Jim at the 500-meter mark, and we'll try to give you a position announcement at that time.
Better get your camera.
This is the Copley Cup. Appears that they successfully got out of the 100-meter mark and no breakdowns. Very strong pull on all 4 crews. Check that 4 crews in this race. They certainly look tightly bunched as they head towards 500 meters. Appears that the crew in lane number 1, that would be Cal, is on the lead. They will be the farthest away from your camera vantage point. Then on the near side, appears that Bucknell may be hanging into 2nd position. As the crews have settled down into a racing stroke now. farthest from the camera view, that is Cal, and they are beginning to open up about a 5 or 6 seat lead. This is California.
This is a 4-boat race, and from this race, 3 will go through to the grand final, so 1 crew is going to miss out.
Looks like Cal may have opened up some open water.
California in lane 1 have not raced so far this season. This is their first competitive race of the year. Oregon State in lane 2 have beaten Gonzaga. Michigan in lane 3 have beaten Marietta. And Bucknell, we have no early season form on them, although they may have competed in the Cayuga duels last weekend, but we have no results.
Relax the shoulders, execute that drive. Coming up to 5 seat of Bucknell, sit up, lock and squeeze. Lock your half a seat up on Oregon State. Take them down, boys. Lock. You're at a 34, nice and controlled. We're about 100 meters away from the 1,000-meter point. Lock and send. Lock and send. You gotta make that move. Press. Your seat up on Oregon State. You're about. I'm almost on 4 seat of Bucknell. Lock and send. At the 1,000-meter mark, we're gonna make that push. Lock and send. Control, you're at a 34. Send into, make a beat lit. That's 1. That's 2.
As we come through the 1,000-meter mark, it's Cal who are controlling this race. They're setting out a steady race pace in lane 1, and this is turning into a race for second place between Oregon State and Michigan, with Bucknell trailing slightly in lane 3. Bucknell, of course, will be trying to force their way into that 3rd spot, because 3rd spot gets to the grand final out of it in this event.
Right now it is California along the shoreline. They have led throughout, had almost open water by the time they got to 500 meters into the race, and they are along the shoreline here. It appears that Michigan on the outside is pushing Oregon State, and on the far outside, Bucknell. As Charles mentioned earlier, it will be 3 crews moving forward, so the battle definitely will be for 3rd and 4th spot in this heat. This is the opening of our featured race. 1 of 3, the California Cup. Check that, the Copley Cup. As our crews move along through the Ingram wind tunnel area. And as Charles mentioned earlier, the wind's not a factor, although they have picked up a bit since the start of the race. Along the shore, this is California.
Bucknell have certainly not given up hope in this race. They're pushing strongly. Oregon State are maintaining that 2nd position, but Bucknell are pushing on to Michigan, and Michigan are pushing on to Oregon State. This could really come down to the wire for this 3rd spot in the grand final.
We are looking at lanes 2, 3, and 4. Oregon State in the Oregon Orange. University of Michigan is in lane number 3. In the dark blue on the outside, Bucknell in the white jerseys. On the lead continues to be California, as they have led throughout. But it is getting tighter and tighter and tighter for Oregon State, Michigan, and Bucknell. Oregon State clinging to a slight lead. Michigan on the move, and Bucknell will not go away on the outside. This is California on the lead, open water, about a boat length and a half. Oregon State on the near side. On the far outside, Bucknell starting to make a move. Bucknell and Michigan almost nose ball to nose ball. It is Oregon State with a 5-seat lead, but the attention goes out to Michigan and Bucknell on the outside. Michigan clinging slightly. It is Bucknell on the outside as University of California crosses the finish line. It looks like Oregon State will be in 2nd spot, but the battle is very, very tight between Michigan and Bucknell. Michigan in lane 3, Bucknell on the outside, and it is almost too close to call between those two. We'll try to get a photo finish on it because it's very important. One of those 2 crews will be moving forward. Unofficially, the University of California is finishing in that 1st spot. Oregon State in the second spot, and we'll have to watch it closely for the third and final qualifying spot for the grand final of the Copley Cup. This is Oregon on the near side on the replay, and they have a lead going into that second position. It looks like Michigan may just hang on, as they unofficially will come in on the third spot in the final qualifier, with Bucknell moving forward to the petite final. Event number 8 is coming up. It is the Men's Collegiate Varsity Invitational Copley Cup. It's the second of our 2 heats, and we will have 3 of these 5 crews moving forward. Opportunity to mention briefly that in the souvenir tent, you may buy a DVD of an individual race that is being run today. These race videos are only $15, and they're wonderful keepsakes for the crews families. It's available in that merchandise tent. The race, when it is finished, about an hour later, that DVD will be available in the merchandise tent here at the San Diego Crew Classic 2011 edition.